Hello. How y'all doing? It's Friday morning. It is 10 a.m. I am so glad to see you guys. Jonathan, let's go. It is game time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, I love it. There we go. We're getting activity. All right. Welcome. Welcome, y'all. I know it's not Father's Day yet, but it will be Sunday. And so we're going to celebrate Father's Day today. And I can hear it now. Why didn't you guys celebrate Mother's Day? I don't know.
None of us are mothers.
I'm not a mother.
I will be a mother one day.
You will be. And when you
So-
are a mother, we'll celebrate Mother's Day. How about that?
Yeah, so there's no other.
So
dads in
10
here
years
but
from
you.
now. Yes, 10 years from now.
Yes. Wait,
Sounds
are you
good.
Are you predicting my birth? My
Sure,
My
take
birth.
it. Your birth.
My-
I'm a little late. All right. You got Mike. You have Mike.
no, my
Just Mike. Why is that? Well, we're going to tell you in a
Well.
second. Well, we're gonna describe in a second.
In this shot, there are 3 mics.
You know the worst part? It took me a second. I was like, "What are you talking about? 3 mics? It doesn't make sense. Where are you going?"
We need cardboard cutout.
We do. Yes. I honestly, I mentioned that yesterday to somebody. I was like, I need a full length cardboard cutout. And so now we need 2 of them. We need one for Massey and one for me.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into it, hey guys, if you have a business, we want sponsors. We want to be able to promote your business. We want to be able to tell people about your business. And guess what? We have a sponsor. If you're in the Treasure Coast area, I want to tell you about Giving Life Color Painting Services. They've actually just expanded to pressure washing as well. Guys, if you want reliable, quality painting and you live in the Treasure Coast area, heck, if you live across the nation and you're willing to pay travel expenses and all that, I'm sure they do it. But honestly, I vouch for this company. They've done my dining room, my kitchen. They've done my son's bedroom, my entryway. Great service, good prices. Check them out. Their phone number, 772-521-0858. Again, 772-521-0858. Give them a call, please.
Get yourself some paint.
Get yourself some paint, and be sure to go on to Google, Yelp, give a review, right? All right. Morning, guys. I love you guys. Jonathan said, I've used Giving Life Color. Great job. Absolutely, man. I don't hear a bad thing about the job. So, and be sure, if you're going to give them a call, let them know you heard about them from Self Evident Podcast. All right. So we have a new segment here that we're going to roll into. We got Massey on the road.
We sure do. Oh.
Massey, are you there? That's the face of legends. I love it.
No, I'm not here. This is actually a representation of me, and I am not really here. What is reality?
It's
anymore,
AI.
you know?
It's all AI.
It's all AI. Well, first off, if I'm gonna go AI, let me slim this down a little bit. But like, no, no, I'm here, man. We're here. We're in California, at the GHC, and
How's it going?
It's going really good, man. First class we did on was the slavery issue, slavery in America, and there was a reporter there. You can tell how she's going to write about this.
Do you know which paper or website?
No, she didn't tell me. And I'm not really interested anyways, because it's like they're going to print what they want to print. You know what I mean?
Right.
So she asked about our church. She asked about the school board stuff and like, all that crap, because I bring it up. So it was pretty incredible. I was like, well, just print the truth. That's all I care about. Just print the truth.
Right. I'm going to hold you to the fact of your journalistic integrity and print the truth.
Yeah. They learned that in civics in college, right? I mean,
yeah. Columbia University, their journalism school is top-notch integrity.
I'm in complete agreement. I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, we're here. It's already been really good. We're here. I mean, we're kicking butt. I mean, we're doing amazing.
Awesome, man. Any stories so far, or?
No, just really yesterday was, you know how it is, right? The first day is a couple hours. It's like 2 or 3 hours at the table. Then all of a sudden, the next day and the next day after that is kind of where it's really gets started. But
Right.
just a lot of people who encourage us because we've been here so many times that we're kind of becoming a name, like a household name. Like people come here just for us, and they miss you for sure.
I'm
Because, but let's be honest here. When Carrie's at the table, she sells. When Carrie's on the podcast, there's views. When Carrie's around, we just prosper. So you and I are kind of old news. We're
Uh-huh.
yesterday's socks, if you will.
It's it's Carrie Evident podcast. Carrie Evident Ministries.
No, it's Carrie's Evident podcast.
Right.
No, but it's pretty incredible, man. Like just the reception we get and the favor we have here is pretty incredible, man. So I mean,
Amen.
it's just awesome. So I'm expecting more from today and tomorrow for sure. There's definitely, I think we got 5 more classes. And one of them is a new one that we haven't done before, but it's the President Can't Save You is the class, and I thought that's a unique class to pick, but we're doing it, and so it's going to be sweet.
What are you gonna say in it? Give the people a little taste.
The President Can't Save You.
And done.
Done.
Clap.
No, I'm real fast. If the questions I'm going to ask right away is, why did America gain independence from Great Britain? Like, what were the reasons they left? If you look at all 27 reasons in the Declaration, most of them all start with, the king has done this. He forgot this. He didn't do that. So notice it wasn't about the government itself, a body. It was the one person. And so they knew having one person at the helm was terrible, right? So I go through all that stuff, and then I go through just jurisdictions and what we can do about it as a local level, right? That it's the local levels that have to change it. So that's what we're talking about.
Awesome. Well, I know you and I, like, we bash this drum constantly, hoping that more and more people will accept it, that the president isn't the one to save us.
No,
And
man.
dude, I get so tired of, if this president gets in, that'll save it, change the nation. And I'll be honest, Trump recently said, I'm the only one who can save this nation. And it's like, right there tells me why you're not the one to save the nation. That stuff drives me nuts. It's like, I'm tired of us trying to put all of our faith in one man to rule over us and change things. It's like,
Right.
we're the ones who have to change it all. We're the ones who have to change it from the ground up. And so I'm glad you're teaching this class. I can't wait for people's heads to explode, because they tend to when we say Trump's not your king.
Right. They do. And even good, solid Christian people that we love and admire, they basically take that wrong. And we're not saying that to be, to make you feel any kind of way. We're saying that idolatry is really subtle, and it's kind of becoming the norm in politics. If we elect this person, this is what's going to happen. If we elect this person, they're going to change the whole country. Isn't that
Right.
crazy that the people always clamor for a king to fix things, and instead of fixing it ourselves and gaining the responsibility ourselves and making sure liberty is at the helm of all of our decision making, and God's at the helm, instead of you know what I'm saying? So like the liberty aspect is rarely talked about, and where liberty comes from and rights and things like that. No, we don't deserve liberty. It's the fact that Christ died for it is what makes it available for us. So to taint that liberty with an idolatrous mindset is just a slap in the face, I think, to the Lord. And so we got to quit this stuff, man. What did God say in 2 Chronicles? We all quote this one, right? If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves. It's like, it feels like, just reinterpret that with your president. If the people of the president humble themselves and seek him, he'll heal the land. That's terrible. It really is. That's what's been happening for years now,
And like you said, we keep going back to it. It's like, let's get out of this cycle. Let's go a different direction.
Amen.
let's trust the Lord, and let's do this ourselves instead of putting our faith in somebody else.
Yeah.
No, I can't wait to hear about the class, man. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be good, because it basically hits the message right on the head of what we've been trying to tell people.
So pray for us. Thank you for praying for us out on the road. Thank you so much, Chris. And I'm just seeing some of the comments.
Yeah.
Apparently Facebook's unstable. But
Yeah.
that's cool. It is what it is. Facebook loves us. They just love our messaging, and
Yeah.
they're trying to correct it right now. They're on it for us. Just
Ye-
want y'all to know.
Exactly. They are in our corner. And so go to the other place that's in our corner. If you're having troubles with Facebook, go to YouTube. There's a good comment section there, all of that. But yeah, otherwise, we love you guys. Massey, Carrie, we love you guys. We're praying for you. Keep me updated, bro. All right.
Now it actually works. I had it wrong the whole time. I was cross-eyed.
Basiliscos.
All right, guys. Love you. See you soon.
All right. Love you, bro. See ya. All right, guys. So be sure to pray for Massey and Carrie. They're getting the homeschool stuff rolling. And yes, once again, if Facebook is being too unstable for you, go ahead, head over to YouTube. Jonathan was good enough to put the link in the chat. You can just click, just give a click and head on over. Go for it. My goal is someday we'll be on Rumble and blowing up Rumble. So that way, is that the other way? Okay. I get shifted around. All right. Guys, I love you. I'm so grateful for you all. And so I'm going to keep moving forward. I just wanted to say that. I love you guys. I love interacting with y'all on the chat. Keep the comments coming. Go ahead, ask the questions. But we are going to get into a little thing called News Bits. A 2-bit operation. I had to do something for you guys. It's a 2-bit operation. That's all right. Do we have 5 minutes on the clock, Easy?
No, he wasn't ready.
Oh,
That means I get his paycheck this week.
yes.
That's what that means.
3,
2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. Muslims for America. In Hamtramck, Michigan, the all-Muslim city council, as well as the mayor, voted unanimously to ban the display of LGBTQPIAA plus 7Y
Why?
exclamation point flags on all city properties. So their resolution states the government of the city of Hamtramck does not allow any religious, ethnic, racial, political, or sexual orientation group flags to be flown on the city's public properties, and that only the American flag and the nation's flags that represent the international character of our city shall be flown. I'm cool with this. Carry on. Go for it. I have no problem with that. By all means. And isn't it funny that the all Muslim city council is the one who's going, nope, we're not going to take this. Guys, it's time to step up. It's time to stop apologizing. It's time to stop backing down. It's time to stop allowing the other side to do whatever they want because you want to be kind and tolerant and compassionate and apathetic. You can stand for what you believe in. It's okay. All right, going for the next one. Just so you're aware, DeSantis just signed a bill which keeps you, the consumer, from being able to purchase directly from auto manufacturers. In other words, you are required to purchase from a dealership if you want a brand new car. Now, why does this matter? And I saw that one of our researchers, Paul Garner, posted this up. It was like, ooh, that's good. Why? Because we need to be aware of what's going on, both good and bad, with the people in office. Now, what's the issue? There's an even bigger issue on this is there is a carve out for electric car makers. Tesla, Lucid, Rivian, or whatever it is. There's a carve out. And this is telling you, the consumer, who you need to purchase from. It's getting into the middle of the market. It's regulating the market. I don't like this. I don't think government should be telling you who you can and cannot purchase from. Because if they can tell you who you can purchase from, they'll tell you who you cannot purchase from. And it also says manufacturers cannot incentivize pricing for the dealers. So why are we getting involved in their business relationship? If the manufacturers want their dealers to incentivize pricing, that's between them and the dealership. And am I insane on this? Like,
No.
No, it feels like way out from left field.
right.
It feels like it's coming way out of nowhere too.
And if somebody has the other side of this, the explanation or the reason behind it, go ahead and post it up. Go ahead and throw it in there, because I love DeSantis in certain respects, but there is this strain of he wants to use government to get his way. And maybe I'm just a little too libertarian on this whole thing, but I don't like that idea of use government force, regulation, laws, all of that to get your way.
Yeah.
We had people kick back on us because of the whole Disney thing, because we said, look, I don't mind that you're cutting out this special carve out for Disney, but you're doing it because it's a political issue at that moment with Disney. If just in a normal session, you would have said, okay, it's time for us to stop carving out for Disney. We're picking a winner in this whole thing. Cool. But because Disney kicked up against you, you said, fine, we'll take your special status. That reeks of tit for tat. And now Florida is in wars back and forth with Disney. I have a problem with that, because government can punch people in the face and people can't respond. All right, going to the next one. Supreme Court is about to make things crazy. June, it's fun, right? 4 cases. Affirmative action, whether it's a legal practice or is discriminatory. They're going to decide on that. Student loan forgiveness, whether Biden can forgive at least a portion of an estimated 20 million student loans. LGBTQ versus religious conviction, and I use that word properly, a religious conviction of what you can and cannot do. A Colorado web designer claims her religious conviction keeps her from doing wedding website design for gay couples. Colorado has an anti-discrimination act that prohibits businesses from selecting whom to do business with. This was that same law that Jack Phillips, remember the master cake shop stuff? He challenged with his court case. We'll see what the Supreme Court already said they're going to rule on it as a freedom of speech issue. So can this business owner do it as freedom of speech? I just heard, I got bonus soccer time, 30 seconds. Gerrymandering. They're going to determine. State Supreme Court ruling blocked the congressional map in 2021. The Republican Party of North Carolina is arguing the independent state legislature theory, which posits that state courts cannot interfere with federal elections. If this ISL passes or wins, this means the state legislators will have more authority over federal election processes and maps. I'm for it. Give the states more power. Give them more authority in what they're doing. All right. Any questions? Okay, we're good. All right. So before we get into the main topic, I got a couple of things for you. Do not forget, we still have our matching grant, guys. Has everybody donated to this yet?
Have you done it?
Have you done it? If you haven't, I think we've got like $1,000 left that we have to cover. Who's going to be that person today? Who's going to be that one that covers this and gets it done and over with? Because let me put it this way. Are you sick of hearing about the matching grant? This is how you get rid of it. Is that a bad sales technique? Guys, the matching grant is helping us do what we need to do. Massey and Carrier out in California. Have you looked at plane tickets to fly out to California lately? Not cheap. And then we're going to Texas in July. We're going to be in Texas. Massey and Carrier will be there. I think it's the 8th to the 10th. And then Easy E and I and Massey and Carrier will all be on tour that next week. So we need resources in order to be able to make these trips. So think about the match and goal. Let's hit it, guys. Let's cover it over.
Anyone is wondering what we're doing there, in the intro for the countdown for our podcast, everything that you see there minus the podcast episodes, that's what we do. We minister, we preach to people. We will either do it in big classrooms or simply at our table with our amazing merch, which if you go to theselfevidenttruth.com/store, you can buy.
Nice. And you know what's going to be up on the store next? This is a special one. Yeah, go ahead and post that. This is a special one. And actually, nobody knows that I'm announcing this except my producers. And I think my wife. So I have recently just completed a book. And this is going to be, yeah. I know. Mike can write. Kind of.
I don't know.
I slam keys and stuff comes out. I am coming out with a book called Become Forged, Maximizing Masculinity. This has been a pet project of mine. If you want strategies to develop the man that you are, God-given strategies, if you want to become the most of what God has created you to be, this book I've designed to help you do that. It gives ideas, it gives explanations, it gives tips, it gives you the full structure of the 3 aspects of who you are. Guess what? You are body, soul, and spirit. I give you how to develop each one. And we go in depth. I talk about rites of passage. I talk about the difference between men and women. I talk about fasting and prayer and worship. I talk about different strategies to improve your life in every way. Guys, check this out. It will be up on the store. But if you're interested in a copy, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I'll make sure that I write your name down, and we'll figure out how to get you a copy. It's going to be $15, and it'll be up on the website. I'm hoping this week. Order a copy, guys, and let me know what you think. But I guarantee, even if you're a mom with a son, this is talking to you. There's plenty in there for you. All right. So added to that, the company that helped me publish this book is a indie publishing company. And I've decided I am an indie author. We always use the term for music, independent, right? Independent artist. I'm an indie author. I was thinking about this yesterday. It's time to pull down the establishment publishing world. Why? Because they determine what gets put out. They determine what you read. They determine whether or not something's going to sell. Now it's time to support the indie publishing world, the indie writer world. And so I've got a company for you. If you've ever thought about publishing a book, pantherapublishing.com. Go there. They're the ones that are publishing my book. They help you go through it. And I'm telling you, it's super cheap, guys. It's awesome. It's a great process. They are amazing to work with. They've been publishing books for pastors, and the queue is beginning to grow. So if you've ever thought about writing a book, go to pantherapublishing.com. All right. Check them out. Amazing company. Man, we got sponsors. We're growing. All right. I see a couple of people that are wanting a book, so I will get a hold of you guys, and we'll get you that book. All right. Main topic, 5 ways. Man, I love the lead in because I love a bunch of different stuff. I know some people are like, just get to the main topic. I love the journey. Don't you? The journey. The journey. But now we're there. 5. Ooh, Carrie Booth, can you put pantherapublishing.com in the comments, please? 5 things, 5 strategies. Men, this is for you. I was thinking about Father's Day. And oftentimes the messaging on Father's Day is either fatherless homes, how overwhelming it is that the culture hates fathers and doesn't want fathers, or it's how are you going to be a better father? You need to buck up. You need to become a better father. And I was thinking about this. I'm like, how do I want to talk to fathers? And I was telling my wife this morning. Men want to solve problems. Ladies, you put in the comments if your husband likes to solve problems. Almost every man has a passion to solve problems, overcome obstacles, conflicts. Ladies, as soon as you come to your husband with a problem and, oh, this is going on and this and this and this, he's immediately, and my wife called me out on it. She's like, yeah, sometimes I just want you to just comfort me. Because immediately my mind is like, oh, well, you need to do this and this and this and do that, and then you'll fix it, you know? And so, men, I've decided I'm going to talk to you man to man. And ladies, I want you to listen in because maybe this is something that could be useful for your husband, but we're going to come up with strategies of how to lead our family well. And I'm not saying you're not leading your family well. I'm not saying you don't have to improve it, but man, maybe there's a strategy here that is useful for you. Why? Because men, we're built to provide. Men, we're built to protect. Men, we are built to go out. We're built to take chaos and turn it into order. We're built to draw boundaries, and protect our family. We are the ones who go out and take risk. Why? So our wives and children don't have to. We're the ones who are taking on the brunt so that our families can be raised in safety and security. I want my children free. And I think most of the men out there want their children and their wife free. They don't want to have to look back and worry about their families. And sometimes that means us putting ourselves on the line for our families. And that means us stepping out ahead and being leaders. And it's a great thing because it inspires us when we do it. The more you do it, the more you're inspired to keep moving forward. I want to raise up men who know what to do and how to do it and go out against the challenges. It's time to overcome. And I know we can, and I know we do. That's the beautiful part is I know so many men that overcome the obstacles in their lives. But maybe there's something in here that'll help you with your family in overcoming those obstacles. And I'm going to challenge you this Sunday on Father's Day. I want you to implement one of these things. One of these things should be implemented in your family. Now, I got this idea in a large portion of this content from Order of Man. So I'm not trying to steal. I'm trying to accentuate and encourage. So I'm promoting orderofman.com. Ryan Mickler had a thing where he said, treat your family like a business. Now, most of you, when you hear that, you're like, oh, I don't want to do that because then my family, it's just about dollars and cents. The word for today is intentional. Are you being intentional with your family, with your masculinity, with what you're doing in your life? Because the best business owners, the best men in career are intentional with every aspect that they're doing. And so the question is, are you being intentional with your family? And the cool thing is, if we take our business strategies and we look at our family that way, it goes, oh my gosh, I can be so much more intentional. Because most guys, what happens for us is we get home and we're exhausted. And all we want to do is sit on the couch. And guys, I know I'm talking to you. Ladies, I'm sure you've seen your husband do this. The kids come up, they want to play, they want to wrestle, they want to do all this. And there's probably a part of your husband, I know it happens for me, and maybe I'm the only one, where it's like, okay, right? There's that like, I'm exhausted, but I've got to put on the other hat. And I think one of the things that'll help us men is if we can start to see it as a strategy or a problem to solve. And so the question is, how are we treating our family with as much passion, conviction, and intention as we are with our business? So the first thing that Mickler talks about is, do you have a mission statement for your family? I know this sounds cheesy, but I want you to think about this. Even if you don't have, Carrie Booth says we don't have kids and this happens. Absolutely. So I want you to know, even if you don't have kids, if you have a girlfriend that you're thinking about, or you're single, start instituting this in your life. No matter what you're doing, you're a woman, institute this in your life. If you have a husband, help him institute this. Do you have a mission statement for your family? Now, a mission statement, I love using this example. Customer experience over cost. Or customer experience trumps cost. Now, you may say, okay, what does that mean? In other words, whenever there's a conflict between the customer experience and cost, customer experience wins. Now, all of your employees have a very clear mindset of, ooh, this customer experience might cost the company a little bit more to make sure they're satisfied, but I care more about their experience than the cost. Now, how does that relate? I love where is it? Oh my gosh, did I not include it? Uh-oh. I didn't copy and paste it. Okay, so Old Testament, golly, is it Joshua or Jeremiah? As for me and my house, we will worship the Lord. I love this as a mission statement. We've actually got it up in our master bathroom. As for me and my house, we will worship the Lord. That is a perfect mission statement. Because if you place that You got it?
Joshua 24:15.
Joshua. Okay, cool. Joshua 24:15. I highly recommend this as a mission statement for your family. Sit your kids down and say, look, our family, we are going to follow this. This is our statement. As for our house, we follow the Lord. All of a sudden, that makes everything easier, because now all of a sudden you're going, okay, I don't know between A and B. I'll follow the Lord. I'll do what the Lord's directed me to. I'll seek the Lord on this. Establish a mission statement. Maybe you and your wife have to sit down, men, and you have to go, okay, what is our family's philosophy? What are we going towards? How are we going to lead this forward? Right? Easy E. As a man who is dating somebody, it is still imperative to have a mission statement in your life, right?
Extremely. We actually, to get a little personal,
Camera.
we just had a, it's been almost 3 months now, and that's not a lot of time. It feels like a lot more time than it actually is, but we recently had to sit down and realize that we are, even though we have so much in common, we are so different, and just getting to know the differences in our personality and ways that we mix and ways that we don't mix, especially with problem solving. I like to solve problems, and she comes with problems but doesn't want them solved. So it's kind of like that difficult dichotomy right there. And it's about being able to not remove yourself from the situation, but look at the bigger picture of things, especially if you're really prone to overthinking,
And that's what it does, is it simplifies.
Yeah.
It's very easy. And I was telling my wife this yesterday. You've got to have a truth that you can hold on to. In the onslaught of the world, when all the emotions are boiling over, and you just, what do you hold on to? You've got to have a truth that you can grab a hold of. And that truth is, even if you don't feel a shred of it, you can still hold on to it and go, I have to go with this truth, even though everything in me wants to go the other way.
Which, real quick, I've got the scripture pulled up on my phone, and the "as for me and my house" part isn't until the very end. Is it okay if I read the rest of this?
Real quick, but yeah, go for it.
And if it is evil in your eyes to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you will serve, whether it's the gods of your fathers, served in the region beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Amen. Destiny says, love that scripture. One of the best things to speak over your family or your own life. If you're single, mission statement for your life. Okay, we're going to move forward now. So we've got that. We've got mission statement. Next up, meetings. Now this, everybody goes, but it's true. Are you actually sitting down and looking at how things are going? And the whole reason that I say this is because you ever hear that example of money, if you're not paying attention to it, it's going to disappear. You know, a dollar not tracked is a dollar lost type deal. It's true in every area of your life. Are you being active and intentional with your wife, men? And this isn't a call out. This isn't a conviction. This is a, hey, think about this, and maybe this is something to improve. This is a strategy. Sit down with your wife or sit down with your whole family and go, okay, where's the progress? How are we doing? Where are we lacking? And be ready for feedback and criticism. You have to allow people to actually be honest with you, and you can't react and retaliate. What we tend to do is, give me feedback. Okay, this was really bad. Stop. Why are you doing it? You're attacking me. But I did this and I did that and I did. Keep your mouth shut. All right? If you're sitting in a meeting and people are giving you feedback of what they honestly think, keep your mouth shut. Because the number one thing we tend to do is, yeah, but I was doing that, and the excuses. Now, maybe it's legitimate. The person doesn't see something. Still, allow them to finish. Allow them to put out what they're thinking, because you want your family to trust that they can come to you. And so when you have these meetings, do the strengths and the weaknesses, get feedback from everybody, but you as the father And as the husband, can still set forward the mission and the plan with consulting with your wife. Easy, you look like you got something, or no? Oh, you just your look was intense.
I'm listening, man.
Cool, I love it. Sit down. And wives, this is easy. Go to your husband and say, I love that you're leading my family. I want to know, how can I help the next step? Where are we going? He may even go, oh, I don't know. And tell him, I want to support you. Let's sit down. I want to hear what your thoughts are on where we're headed. I want to follow you. Right?
I've noticed in relationships, indecisiveness in the man looks so bad to the woman. Like not just to her. Like she not only does she not like to see that, or she doesn't prefer to see it, it doesn't make her confident in your decision making, whether or not when big decisions come up.
Right.
It doesn't make her confident, and it doesn't make her more attracted to you because you're not being more confident in whether it's the way you hold yourself, the way you speak, or simply in knowing what you like or dislike.
And men are afraid that their wife won't like it if they make the wrong decision. And maybe she won't like that you're making the wrong decision, but over the course of time, she will appreciate that you are making decisions and you're standing in conviction on the decisions that you're making. I mean, Ice-T, in 10 years when you start dating, would you rather have a guy who, whenever you ask him a question, he goes, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Or do you want a guy you ask him a question, he goes, well, I think we're going to do this. Hey, I've been telling you, I want to do this and I'm going to do it. Tomorrow, we're going to go do this and this and this. Would you rather have a guy confident in decisions that he's making and stepping out and taking risks, or a guy that goes, well, I don't want to?
Well, I guess it's kind of like standing on the sand or the salt. Like you want that solid figure. And it's honestly kind of the same with you just in a relationship there needs to be one person that is like the foundation and supports the other person, but also supports in areas that isn't there in the other person. So if most of the time the woman is going to be like, okay, well, I need some advice and I need something to stand on. And if that person's like, oh, well, moving around, they're not gonna, they don't feel safe. And that's where it happens a lot.
That's a really good word, safe. And ladies, I want you to chime in. Like, would you rather have a man who's squishy, indecisive, lacks conviction, or do you want a man who steps out, a man who's firm, a man who's stable, a man who takes risks for the betterment of the family? Carrie Booth says, ooh, number 2, hubby and I do. See, they do meetings. They have a mission statement. They do meetings. Good for you. So I highly recommend this Sunday, sit down with your family and go, hey guys, I want us to figure out where we're headed and have an idea where you're headed. All right. Number 3, goals. When you have that meeting, are you putting forward goals? If you have goals in your business and your personal life, why do you not have goals for your family? If you are passively participating in your family, family is happening to you. Life is happening to you. I am encouraging you, go set goals and then have the meetings to determine the process to get to those goals. And we'll have a way to get those goals in a second. But go for goals. Set goals. Like, okay, we as a family, we're going to spend every Friday morning doing this and this and this. We as a family, we're going to make sure once a month we're going here. We as a family, we're going to make sure that we give so much to other families. We as a family, we're going to determine that we're going to spend this time doing this. You can do this for your life if you're single, if you're dating, if you're married. Set goals, be active. Again, that word intentional is so important. I want to see intentional families at every level. I need to be intentional with my kids. I need to be intentional with my wife. I need to be intentional with ministry, with business, with self-development. Intentionality is the key here.
No.
Easy?
And I want to kind of elaborate on the what you mean by being intentional, not just doing these things to do it or because it will have a good outcome, but doing it purely out of love. That is what doing it intentionally means.
And sorry, I'm typing something. Feel free to ask questions, guys. That's what I'm here for. And at the end, if we want, we can do a Q&A segment. I'm game. I mean, after all, I did write a book about masculinity. I must be an expert.
Oh, you
Or I'm
write a
some guy
book
that
and you're an expert already.
Plinked on a keyboard and threw it out there. Yes, and love directs all, right? And that's that 1 Corinthians thing, right? You can have all the gifts, you can have all the talents, you can have all the skills. You can have all the plans, all the goals, all the missions, all of that. But if you don't have love, there's no point to it.
Yeah.
So that's very much like fathers, when we're sitting down in that meeting, are we trying to achieve the objective or are we trying to love our family best? Loving your family is best expressed through intentionality. If you're passive with your family, you're going to let things slide. You're not going to step up and take care of the things you're supposed to. And when I'm loving somebody, I've got to love them through intentionality. I have to have that plan. Carrie Booth, we have goals. Carrie, you're nailing this. I love it. I love that you guys are so active on this stuff. I need to improve the goals with my family. I really do. Melissa and I need to have a sit down. So Melissa, if you're watching, welcome. And we're going to have a meeting tonight.
You make it sound like an intervention.
You and I are going to sit down tonight and you're going to tell me everything I've done wrong. All right.
Meet me in the parking lot.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
7.
That's 7. Okay. Dedicated time. Dedicate time. You dedicate time to your business, to your career, to self-development. And if you don't, it's time to start dedicating time to that. But time is like money. And I picture time like this. It's something that you're only given the same amount. You can never get it back. You can never get more of it at once. And so how are you spending each second, each minute, each hour of your day? You can spend it how you want. And it's vital to realize that time is ticking away. And so be intentional with your time. A lot of us think that couch time in front of the TV with our family is quality time. In certain respects, it can be. But if you get home and you sit down and you're on that couch for 3 hours, watching TV for 3 hours, and you get the kids to bed and then you go to bed if you don't watch TV for a couple more hours or whatever. If you're passively participating in life, I assure you, 20 years is going to pass by and you're going to look back and you go, what did I do? I want you to experience life. You have to be proactive to experience life. This means when you get home, even though you're tired, are you spending that quality time with your family? Are you doing Legos with your son? Are you running around in the backyard even though you're exhausted? Are you stepping outside of yourself to determine, I am going to spend dedicated time with each member of my family? Jonathan says, time is the most precious resource that no one can buy a second more of. I know this is a little bit like intense, but we need to realize that we tend to think life is practice and that someday it'll be the real thing, but you're in it. And so when you get home, you're in it. It's not, oh, I'll do that next month. Do it today. Dedicate that time today. Spend that time today, because your kids will only be that age once. And the last thing you want is to get 20 years down the road and go, I miss my kid's childhood. Dedicate time. And if that means pulling back business or ministry a little bit to make sure you make it to some of those soccer games, then that's what you need to do, because your family is your first ministry. And men, we are so driven and dedicated to provide for our families and to do what we need to do in life. And this is another aspect of it. And there are plenty of great fathers out there. And I'm encouraging you, keep dedicating to time. Carrie says, we are getting better with this, but this we got to keep working on. Hubby and I have literally started over the last couple of years thanking God for second chances. Absolutely. And even if you don't have kids, how much dedicated time do you have with your wife, with your girlfriend, with yourself, doing something active to better yourself? I'm telling you, if you're single, you're undivided. You can pour yourself in wholly to what you're doing. Developing yourself, ministry, planning, all of this. Jonathan says, living by planning tomorrow or remembering yesterday will only make you miss today. Amen to that. Live in the moment, but have an active plan for the moment. Don't just live by the seat of your pants. Now, experience can be living by the seat of your pants, but even those people plan to go out to live experience. And I want you to have experience, because that's the thing. The cars, the houses, the money, the things, the television programs, the walls of DVDs. You remember the experience, not the product. If the product helps you get a better experience, cool, but it's the experience that really matters. And they're finding in newer generations that this is what they're spending their money on, the experience. I'm telling you, if you go to the zoo with your family for a day, you're probably going to have more memories, more experience, more satisfaction than you will driving around in that new car for a half hour. Now, if the experience in the car is you're having fun as a family and you're singing and you're pointing out stuff out and all that, cool. Notice it's an experience. Okay. So dedicate time. And this is what you need to sit down with your spouse or yourself in that meeting and figure out, what are we dedicating our time to? Make sense? All right. I want to end with this. Intentionality is so vital. That's really the lesson here is, can you be intentional with what you're given? And we tend to think, if I'm a Christian, that I can't be intentional because then I'm squashing the plans of God. But what's beautiful is God comes alongside your plans and he'll direct your ways, but he loves watching you go forward. And I've got just some Proverbs, right? Proverbs 16:3, commit your work to the Lord. It doesn't say don't plan work. It says commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. Proverbs 16:9, the heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Notice he didn't say the heart of man plans his steps or plans, but it shouldn't. He's just saying, look, your heart's going to plan and God's the one who's going to establish your steps. Proverbs 15:22, without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors, they succeed. I'm going to jump down to Luke 14:28-30. For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. We tend to take that as, so you need to commit to Christ and just count the cost and then commit to Christ and then let go. I don't believe that's what he's saying. Now, he is saying, look, count the cost before you commit to Christ. But at the same time, look, have a plan, have a structure, and God may change it, and be open to the Holy Spirit to changing and amending. But can you put it together? If he gives you a vision, you get to have the creativity of, how do I put that vision in place? And he'll bring things together for sure. And sometimes he's telling you, look, I want to handle all of this. Other times, maybe it's, look, are you going to do this and this and this, and set it up? But be intentional with your family. Men, you're amazing. Men, I support you. I get tired of the messages of fatherless homes all over the place. Fathers need to step up, or the inverse, which I know we talk about, but I don't want to do this on Father's Day. Men, you're so beat down by culture. Culture hates you. Men, culture doesn't want anything to do with you. They're trying to destroy men and culture, masculinity. I'm not mocking those ideas, because we talk about those ideas. We respect plenty of people who talk about those ideas. This Father's Day, I'm speaking to you in strategy. I'm speaking to you man to man, saying, this is what we can do to move forward. Here are some steps that you and I can solve the problem. And the problem is inefficiency in our own families. If you own a business, guaranteed you know areas where it's like, we need to get more efficient in this. We need to become better in this. We've got a weak spot here. It's time to put your eyes on your family like that. Where am I as a leader not seeing the weak spots? And I need to. And that's introspection and intentionality. You need to sit down first and go, okay, how am I really doing as a father and as a husband or as a boyfriend, as a man? And then from there, constructive feedback to yourself intentionally of how am I going to fix this problem? And you will instantly feel a little more confidence and hope. If you sit down and you go, how am I going to fix this problem? Well, I can start doing this. We as men get an adrenaline rush out of that. And so I'm encouraging you, get a little bit of that adrenaline rush today. Easy, you got anything? Are you good?
Mike's muted. My bad. I was thinking about I know recently I've been burning out really easily just because I've been working 45, almost 50 hours a week, split between multiple places, also trying to find time to spend with my girlfriend, to spend with my friends, to spend with my family, and having time for myself. And the biggest thing that's important to keep in mind is that we can get run down too, but we need to work to figure out how to rest the best.
Intentional and active with your rest.
Right.
Right. And maybe that means when you're with the girlfriend or whatever, it's like, hey, how do we rest best? Right. And if you guys have any questions, Q&A, go ahead and throw it up. We got 2 more minutes. Throw them up. I'll try and answer them. But to Elijah, I think a lot of men feel. I'm so overwhelmed and burned out with everything going on. How do I set aside time? There was one time I was sitting down with Pastor Todd and I was like, the wife and I, we have no time together. And he's like, you have to set aside time with your wife. And he even said, he's like, my wife and I set aside Friday mornings. That's for us, right? That it's not ministry, it's not business, it's nothing. It's us. It's like, man, that's so good. And I'm not great at setting aside that time. And Melissa, if you're watching, I need to do better on that. I need to be more proactive in setting aside time with my family and saying, this is our time. And she and I had started to do it, and then things took over. And that's the problem. The weeds will grow over it if you don't continue to eradicate the weeds. Get them out. Draw your boundaries. All right. Any questions? I'm not seeing any. Carrie did say my dad was awesome. Miss him, but can't wait to see him again. He spoke life over me growing up. Sorry. And I didn't even know it till I cracked my Bible years later and saw his words. Amen. And men, speak over your families. Speak it over your families.
The power of a father's blessing, man.
Amen. And that, man, I could go down the list and go, I got to improve here, improve here, improve here. And that's okay. I'm good with that because it's like, okay, I see my goals, my metrics. That's how I'm going to move forward.
It reminds us that we're also human too.
Right.
The fact that if we mess up, there's no shame in it.
Right.
We are human. We will mess up. But that's when we pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and keep going.
Yes. So, men, keep going. Be intentional this Father's Day. As you celebrate, however you do with your family, men, your goal, your mission is to be intentional with your family. Take one of these strategies. It could be a mission statement, could be meetings, could be goals, could be dedicating time, delegating roles. That was the one that I didn't get to. But delegate roles, pick jobs. You as a family, when you're meeting, pick jobs for each member. Who's taking care of what and when? Just like you do in a job, right? Elijah has his role. Ice-T has her role. Massey has his. I have mine. Determine roles as a family. All right? So your word, your slogan, men and women, everybody put it up there. Be intentional. All right? All right. Thank you so much, guys. We love you all. I cannot wait to see you on Monday. I hope you all have a great Father's Day weekend. Enjoy it as a family. And if you're not a father, but you're a husband, or you're not a father, but but you're a boyfriend or you're single or you're a woman, enjoy the weekend and be intentional. Be intentional with life, and you get so much more out of it. All right, guys, until next time, I love y'all. Be intentional. Have a great weekend. Love y'all.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.